In the previous video, we showcased how to do timeline control via code using snippets in ActionScript 3. Now, we could use the same kind of snippets and control via HTML5, and this is something that we will be doing pretty soon during the class. What I want to showcase in this video is picking up where we left off. We're going to be using the same elements, but remember we brought in that cloud animation that went across the screen. So I want to make a combination of elements right now, which gives you a pretty good idea of the flexibility that you have when you are creating animations, whether they are code controlled or not code controlled. And so for this, what I want to do is I want to have that cloud moving across the screen, regardless of whether you are on frame 1 or frame 10, which is what these two buttons of navigation give us based on what we did in the previous video. So in order for us to see the cloud, what I want to do is basically bring it in from the library. So I want to create a new layer for the cloud. Remember, items that are animated should reside within their own layers by default. Now, these animations, because they're self-contained, will play back even if they are within two animations to one layer, because there's no conflict between the two timelines. They are embedded, so they don't conflict with one another. But it is good practice to maintain everything separate. So I'm going to name that layer cloud, and I am going to place the cloud movie onto the stage. Now I don't see it because my cloud is white and my background for my stage is white. So if I want to change that, I'll go ahead and click on the stage somewhere so that I deselect everything. Go to its properties, and I want to choose a powder blue, something like this that makes it look nice. What if I wanted lighter blue or a darker blue? Well, you can choose from the preset colors, or you can always go to your ink tool up here on the upper right hand corner of the swatches area, which opens up your color picker, and then it allows you to select colors to your liking. So let's say, for example, I want this to be slightly lighter, like so, and click OK. Now my background changes and I see a little bit more clear in my other graphics. So what I want to do now is I want to make this cloud that's already been pre-animated. Remember, if I double click on it, you'll notice that the cloud sort of goes across the screen. And so what I want to do is I want to take advantage of that cloud going across the screen at all times. Let me go back to scene 1 and move that cloud outside of my stage so that it flies in from the stage, goes across, and it goes to the other side, and eventually plays back by moving back to its beginning and playing back around. You'll notice that that resides on frame 1, on that frame under the layer cloud, and it's available throughout the entire animation. So from frames 1 through 10, that frame exists, and that's what you want. If this is going to be ever present, you want that frame to exist throughout the entire animation. That takes advantage of the fact that that has been pre-animated, and unlike a graphic, it will play normally. So this is where the beauty of having interactions overlaid with full-blown embedded animations gives you a lot of flexibility, and it makes your movie look a lot richer, because you're getting a lot of action, a lot of motion with very little code. In this case, we don't even have to do any code because the animation has already been preset inside the movie clip, as you can see. Let me just go downstream on this, and you'll see that the cloud basically moves across the screen. So I want to take advantage of that. That's already been embedded inside that movie. So if I do this, because that cloud resides in its own layer, what's going to happen, and because the frame exists throughout the length of my entire presentation here in my main timeline on scene 1, when I test this file, basically I get my animation on frame 1 and my cloud is playing across the screen. If I jump to frame 10, my cloud keeps on playing no matter what, because that cloud here has been embedded. So that animation, it's embedded, the cloud goes all the way off and it comes back to the other side. When I jump to frame 1, cloud continues no matter what. Regardless whether I am on frame 1 or frame 10, that animation is going to play through, even if I switch super fast between them. Let's wait for the cloud to come back. I can keep on jumping between my frames. And so that gives you the flexibility of creating animations that seem to be, they're non-interactive, but that are ever present on top of overlaid on top of your interactivity on the timeline.